What if I told you the Bible holds a secret that history tried to hide for centuries? A secret about the origin of peoples who shaped empires, cultures, and wisdom that still echoes today. But strangely, this chapter is almost never told in its fullness. While many repeat the idea that African peoples were just side characters, Scripture reveals something completely different. They're at the very heart of God's plan for humanity. And this truth breaks down false ideas that for too long were used to justify prejudice and injustice. Get ready, because you're about to see history from a whole new perspective. The Bible doesn't just mention Africa. It places its people at the center of events that change the destiny of the world. And when you understand this, you'll realize that nothing that has happened was ever by accident. Human history is like a massive tapestry, threads of different colors, woven into one great picture. But for a long time, one of those threads was left aside: Africa. When we talk about empires and ancient wisdom, people remember Rome, Greece, Mesopotamia, but forget that Africa was an essential part of this story. Ignoring it is like admiring a painting, unfinished. Think of a library with its most important books ripped out. That's how history is often told. But if you look closer, you'll see civilizations that silently shaped the world, from Egypt to Kush. Cultures so rich they couldn't fit into simplified school textbooks. And it's not just about the past. That heritage still beats today. It's in the customs, in the music, in the faith, in the way people live. To recognize this is to see that Africa was never a background figure, but a protagonist. And the more we uncover, the more we realize what seemed forgotten is still alive. After the flood, the Bible gives us a new beginning. Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Not just names, but seeds that grew into nations and cultures. All human diversity springs from a single tree. Picture a forest, each tree growing in a different direction. But beneath the soil, the roots intertwine. That's humanity. Different branches, but connected origins. To forget this is to forget we are one family. And it's not only the Bible. Many cultures speak of a first generation after a great catastrophe. Fragments of the same memory. And among these 3 sons, one stands out to understand Africa: Ham. Ham was never just a name on a list. In ancient languages, his name meant dark or burned, a reference to him and to his descendants. From the beginning, the Bible acknowledged skin diversity as part of God's design. From Ham came empires: Egypt, Kush, Canaan, Libya. Nations that didn't just build cities, but passed down science, faith, and wisdom. The pyramids? Some see just stones stacked high. But those who know Ham's legacy see mathematics, spirituality, and knowledge carved in stone. It's fascinating. African identity didn't appear by chance. It was forged through generations. But over time, this memory was twisted and hidden. To understand it, we must look at Ham's 4 sons. Ham's sons spread like rivers across the earth. Cush fathered the Ethiopians and Nubians, with kingdoms that rivaled the great empires of history. Mizraim became Egypt. Pyramids, temples, mysteries, all born from his line. Even today, the Arabic word Misr for Egypt carries his name. Put and Canaan complete the picture. Put is linked to Libyan peoples. Canaan became ancestor of those who lived in Israel and Palestine. But it is here with Canaan, then one of the most misunderstood stories begins: the so-called curse of Ham. For centuries, people believed the Bible cursed all of Ham's descendants, but that is false. The curse was on Canaan, not on all Africans. The Bible never linked dark skin to punishment. The story was about dishonor. Noah was drunk and exposed, and Ham mocked instead of covering him. The consequence fell on Canaan, his son. In those days, honor was sacred. Breaking it carried spiritual weight. The issue was the action, not the color, but one bad interpretation distorted generations of thought. And it reminds us, misreading a principle always opens the door to injustice. But beyond this, Africa's deep connection to the Bible reveals something far greater. Africa is not on the margins of the Bible. It is at its very center. Egypt appears again and again, with Joseph, with Moses, even with the child Jesus, who found refuge there. Critical moments of faith tied to Africa. The connection is also cultural. Burying the dead with honor, passing wisdom through proverbs, celebrating life with rhythm and dance. Listen to the African drums. It's a living memory echoing from ancient celebrations. Even today, Ethiopians, Sudanese, Eritreans carry this heritage. It's a puzzle, and each piece reveals we are one humanity. An ancient text beyond the Bible, like the Book of Jubilees, add even more detail. The Book of Jubilees paints Ham as more than just an ancestor. It says he founded the first city after the flood, naming it after his wife. Not just a survivor, but a builder, a leader. It also describes Canaan's choice. While his brothers went to Africa, Canaan stayed in land meant for Shem. That decision sparked tensions that echoed through history. These traditions show the Bible wasn't alone in preserving human memory. Other texts add layers of wisdom, history, and symbolism. Each piece, like a mosaic, clarifies the picture. And that leads to one final, powerful question. What legacy does this story leave for us today? Inside every person is a silent desire to know where they come from. It's more than curiosity. It shapes identity. Discovering your roots is like finding the secret map that helps you understand yourself. The Bible is one of those keys. The past doesn't only speak through books. It speaks in songs, in family stories, in symbols all around us. Those who learn to read these signs realize nothing in human history was random. Every people, every nation, part of a greater design. Searching for origins is like lighting a candle in a dark room. Suddenly, everything begins to make sense. And the closer we get to forgotten truths, the more doors open to mysteries still hidden. Now that you know Scripture reveals far more about the origins of African peoples than most are taught, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep accepting distorted versions, or dive deeper to uncover the truths that have been hidden for centuries? Think about it. How many times in your life have you believed only half a story? And what if what you know about your own origin is just the surface of something much greater? The Bible is not just a book of faith. It is also a map pointing to forgotten paths. And that map can transform the way you see yourself in the world. So tell me, are you ready to question old narratives and open your eyes to a legacy of wisdom that still beats today? If the answer is yes, subscribe now turn on notifications, and continue this journey with me. Because the next chapters will uncover even more mysteries that no one has ever told you.